reading of ordinance 2013-1850, adopting the budget for the year 2014 and setting the estimated revenues and appropriations. Richard, is that you?
That's me. Okay, so this is the first reading of the ordinance. We have two readings. The ordinance passed the budget. We've had two council workshops on this, November 4th and 18th. Tonight is our second hearing. We've had two hearings now, as mandated by state law, on the 12th and the 25th. And we've gone over this. Staff has gone over quite a bit. There's the steps to the budget. I think we've all talked about that, the dates that are important. And we've reached all those on time, and the next date is, when we pass it, we have until the end of the year, but we're shooting for December 9th as the second reading and passage of the budget. There's still some work to be done on the budget. After tonight's budget hearing, we'll take some of that back to staff to work over the numbers and also anything else council passes with. As far as there was one comment made by citizen Kate, but regarding benefits being higher than the salaries and wages, and that is true, and it's based on projections and also on a matrix, a payroll matrix, and I'll look into that and research the numbers saying 8,000 up in benefits and only 1,000 down in salaries and wages. Yes, sounds like could be a calculation error or something, but I'll try to check to make sure on that. So do you have any questions about the first reading or any additions people want?
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know if I'm just reading it wrong. I'm comparing the actual budget that council approved to what I think is the latest version. Side note that version date would be great to help us make sure we're looking at.
Yeah.
Page 17, I'm looking at the general fund number 001 breakdown, just to compare year over year on revenues and expenditures. And in our meeting packet for tonight, I'm showing the general fund at $4.3 million in both revenues and expenditures, and that seems kind of high. Is that a total across all funds number, or is that
No. It's a total, just general fund, and what it is, it's the beginning balance plus all the revenues, or it's the ending balance plus all the expenditures.
So, in other words, the money that, if we plan to have an ending balance in the account, we appropriate that as the ending balance. We're not appropriating it to spend.
Correct. So if you add those two up, they should, and sometimes this is the most current budget. Let me check to make sure at the end. 4350 divided by 5. Do you see on page 21 where it says 4,350,000 divided by 0.42? That's the total general fund resources, or the right, estimated resources. So, was that your question?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what that is. That's why it gets a little bit confusing for people when they look at it and they're like, we're spending that much money? No, we just take the totals and add them together. I have it separated out in the page right behind that, which shows the total resources, and then it says expended, revenue plus projected equal total resources and then expenses. It's called the summary fund report. That kind of breaks it down for you. Hopefully that helps.
Okay. Other questions? Seeing none, are we ready to dispense with the first reading of the 2014 budget? Thank you much. We will now go to item B, ordinance 2013-1849, the second reading of ordinance 2013-1849, fixing the amount of taxes to be levied for the city of 2014. No additional rate increases other than those due to increased assessed valuations, new construction providing severability, establishing effective.
Nothing new on this. No word from King County. There's been no change, and with the verbiage they had us put in, any changes will be noted in the law itself. So we're good. We're good to go. It looks like this year's numbers are pretty close to what they projected for this year. still have confidence in these numbers for next year.
Other questions? Councilor Wilkie?
Do we need bank statutory?
No, because all I have to do is let the city use our side.
Any other questions? And this is the second of third reading?
Yes, we have, this is the time, no, 2 readings. This is the time limit issue. We have to have this filed by Friday, right? So we're gonna actually have to do this.
We're ready for action.
Right, correct.
So we've had staff briefing, is there a motion to be made?
Move to approve ordinance 13-1849.
Second.
Councilmember Putnam has moved, Councilmember Folsey has seconded the council approve ordinance 2013-1849. Councilmember Putnam, please do your motion.
Well, with the strength of the economy at the moment, and the situation many people are in, I think it's prudent to be careful, but not to impose additional taxes. So it looks like we're going to get enough money off of simply allowing things to ride at the current rate. So it seems like a reasonable medium between getting the money we need and giving people the breathing room they need.
Councilmember Folsey.
The amount of increase that we would realize by raising taxes is such that it would putting the extra burden on our property owners.
Further remarks by council. Comments from the audience? Question before the council is a motion by Councilmember Putnam, second by Councilmember Folsey to approve ordinance 2013-1849. Roll call, council, please.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember McMahon?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Gerberding? Aye. Councilmember Holsey?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next up, item C, appointment, confirming the reappointment of Monica Newbold to the Civil Service Commission for a 6-year term ending December 31, 2018.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Councilmember Holsey, please do the motion.
She's done a fine job at that for, 6 years? Almost 6 years now.
Councilmember Putnam,
No further comments?
comments from council? Comments from the audience? Question for the council is a motion by Councilmember Holsey, second by Councilmember Putnam, to confirm the reappointment of Monica Newbold to the Civil Service Commission for a 6-year term ending December 31, 2019. Is this a roll call or do we do a roll call?
It's voice vote.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Next up, item D, resolution 2013-081, authorizing the court administrator to execute an interagency agreement with the Washington State Administrative Office of the Court for interpreter expense reimbursement.
I don't know what else to say, you said it all. We've done this in years past, I just did some quick calculations, and last year we received a little over $2,000 from our last agreement. So I'd like to keep on with it.
Move to approve resolution number 2013-081.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2013-081. Councilmember Holsey, speak to your
Like to
motion.
get reimbursed for service.
Councilmember Walker, speak to your second. Good. Comments from council? Comments from the audience? Question before the council is a motion by Councilmember Holsey, seconded by Councilmember Walker, to approve resolution 2013-081. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Actually, resolution.
No, it is.
Resolution, sorry.
Roll call of council, please.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Holsey?
Aye.
Councilmember Gerberding? Aye. Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
And Councilmember McMahon?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next up, resolution 2013-082, authorizing the execution of the supplement number 12 to a contract with Phillips Conley for an additional time for engineering design services associated with additional work for the final phase of the Stewart Road improvement project.
Basically, it's no cost to the city. What it is their contract is up as of December 31st of this year. It should be done with the design, which is a problem, we hope, we want to extend their contract with a supplement so that if we have any questions, when we go to construction, that we can go to them and they're supposed to answer us. So there is no cost difference, it's just an extension of the contract.
Are there questions?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2013-082. Councilmember Holden, please your motion.
That allows them to be available if we have questions and serve as a consult basis during the construction process.
Councilmember Jones?
We're reaching into the final stages of that project of Stewart, and we need to make sure that they're available for any questions. There's no cost to the city at this time.
Comments from council? Comments from the audience?
Is there a dollar figure associated with this, a maximum that you're working based on?
No, there's no cost to the city on this, and they have to be available to answer questions if there's any questions from a contractor that receives the bid.
They're doing it for free?
Yeah, it's part of their contract.
So they're not doing it for free, it's already paid for?
It's already paid for. Their services have been paid for. This is just a question, you know, if there's something that comes, it's typical for a consultant when you're doing a project, especially of this magnitude, to be available to answer questions in their plans if there's something where there's a discrepancy. So it's just a typical standard thing. There's no fee.
What are you having to extend? I'm very familiar with consultant contracts.
It's just their contract ends as of December 31st.
Oh, so you're just extending the date?
the date.
I get it, got it. No questions.
Any other comments from the audience? Question, Councilmember Holden?
I might add that the original contract was expired and construction started on schedule, then we wouldn't need to extend the calendar on the contract. However, we had some issues within the city that have been addressed, and we're back on making progress on the road.
Further remarks? Question before the council is a motion by Councilmember Jones to approve resolution 2013-082. Roll call, council, please.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Garberding?
Aye.
Councilmember Holden?
Aye.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember McMahon?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next up, resolution 2013-083, authorizing expenditure in the amount of $1,849 for parametrics to provide surveying services in White River Estates for the completion of flood certificates.
Cities require, because of the flooding that happened in 2009, we're required to do these. There was three property owners that were made aware of it. They didn't give us right of entry at the time, so we weren't allowed to do it. The reason, for one reason or another, didn't understand what was going on. And one of them has requested the flood certificate now. So that's why we have the bid from Parametrics for the $1,849. We would actually like to, staff's recommendation is that we actually change that to the $3,500 to allow us to do. Parametrics has given us a bid for $3,500 to do all three of the remaining flood certificates required, and that we would go and work with the property owners to get all three of them done, so we don't have to deal with this anymore. Instead of doing $1,800 here and another $1,800, it would be cheaper for us to do one price at $3,500 to do all three.
Councilmember Walker?
Have we made contact with all three property owners?
We have.
And they're agreeable to that?
There's only one that's we're still trying to explain it to them why this needs to be done at this time.
And if we don't, if they're not on board,
They can come back later and ask us to do it.
as part of that $3,500 with parametrics, or we'd have to rebid it?
We'd have to rebid it.
But they'd actually bill us for time actually worked.
Correct. It is, I was talking with Jim Morgan today, it is our feeling that we should be able to get all three property owners on board to do this at one time before the end of this year, so we can get it taken care of.
Further questions, Councilmember Garvey?
My question would be for Mr. Lee. Are you awake?
Yes,
That wasn't my
Do you
first
have
question.
another
Let's meet 'em.
I have two questions then, okay. My question is if the third person says, yeah, no, I really don't wanna participate in this, is there any way we can get him or have a letter that states, we're doing this now, this is your time, if you choose not to partake, if you want it done at a later date, it's on your nickel? Because this will, we've already gone in once, back in, I was 2009?
Yeah.
Okay, and now we've got the three people that said, yeah, no, that's just not in my time frame, and now we're having to pay an additional $1,800 for this one special person, and possibly getting the second guy in, but for the third guy to say, yeah, no, I don't think so, and then maybe in 2 years he comes up and says, gee, my mortgage company wants that paper that you offered me twice now, and I turned down. So can we get him to sign some form saying if you choose not to participate in it at this time, you're on your own?
The answer to the question, we have to see what that original denial was that required us to do that. I mean, the original document that required us to do that. It makes sense to me that if we're entering into a contract with parametric, what do we need from the property owner to get him?
Just a right of entry, so we can get on the property to survey.
I would suggest that if he refuses to do this, I do not believe we can, but I do think we should place him on notice that this is going through, as you've said, we have made arrangements to do it, and it will affect him in the sense that in order to get the certificate at a later time, he'll have to pay it out of his own pocket. Whether that will hold weight or not, I'm not certain.
Well, I had suggested that when they originally went to write the letter, and I see that when they wrote the letter, there's nothing in here that says, anything about that. That's why I was wondering if there was a legal issue stating that we can't say use it or lose it. Because I noticed that, remember we brought that up to Jim Morgan, and he said, yes, that's a good valid point, and then I see he, it's nowhere in the letters that, the right of entry form.
Ken?
The research that he's done says, from state law, state statute, that we can't refuse it. If they come back at a later date, we would have to do it.
Why do we have to keep paying separate for special people?
It's because of it's because of the flood zone.
I think though, Ken, that a letter should be drafted to the property owner indicating that these are required by state statutes and we have made arrangements to do all three at the same time. We request permission to enter your property to conduct the survey, and that we are able to do it at this price, we were paying at this price, and if you fail to do so, then we will look to you for the increased cost.
Not a problem, we can do that.
I think we should do that. Now, whether or not we can carry through with it at a later time, I don't know, but I think we should put them on notice it's being done, notice it will potentially cost him to protect the city.
Okay.
One thought on this is I understand that the reason for the large base price on just one flood certificate is the need to reestablish all of their references to get a firm base plane before they do all the elevations on each structure. If we don't get right of entry, can we put a monument in the street within line of sight of the house so that in the future, when they have to go out to do the house, they've already got an established base point that they can just take the height at one spot and shoot across to the house?
We probably could do that. There probably isn't an additional charge, but I'm sure that can be done.
As I understand it, they have to have the survey floodplain certificate.
Correct.
Without the floodplain, if they can't get signature.
Correct.
So you might inform them that the only way you're gonna get a certificate is to allow entry.
Does that answer your question, Councilwoman?
Slight clarification on the
Go ahead.
on the flood insurance. You can get flood insurance without a certificate for the property, but it is rated on the assumption that the property is located at the lowest elevation on the property. So it is, in this case, would be dramatically more expensive to insure as if you were at the lowest grade on your property rather than having any elevation from your footing. Because an extra foot of water is tens of thousands of dollars of damage.
Government.
Okay, with the way that, Mr. Luce had told him to word his letter, should the letter be approved by someone prior to them mailing it out to the person?
I trust that you'll work with Mayor or Attorney Luce. Further remarks from council?
We're actually pretty certain that everybody's gonna do this at this time. 95% sure.
We can argue the 5% on that.
So,
Any other remarks? Councilmember
shall
Jones?
we considering resolution 2013-083 as stating $3,500 in lieu of the as written?
That's,
No one has yet made that amendment.
I know.
that's right. That's the recommendation. I don't know that we had a motion
We haven't.
yet.
That's why I was
I
asking.
move to approve resolution number 2013-083.
Is that true?
Okay,
I
is
did.
it-
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No, I obviously wasn't loud enough.
Councilmember Holsey has moved, Councilmember Garberdine has seconded to approve resolution 2013-083. Councilmember Holsey?
We're required to do it, we need to get it done, but we also need to, in the resolution, reflect, the $3,500 payment, so I move to amend as such.
Second.
Councilmember Holsey has moved, Councilmember Putnam has seconded to amend resolution 2013-083, to authorize expenditure in the amount of $3,500. Is that the right amount?
Yes.
Okay, Councilmember Holsey, speak to your second, or your motion to amend.
Well, there's never time to do it right, but all the time to do it over.
Councilmember Putnam?
We can get it done, all three, lower cost.
Remarks from council on the motion to amend. Comments from the audience on the motion to amend. Question for the council is the motion to amend resolution 2013-083 to authorize expenditures in the amount of $3,500. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion is amended. Councilmember Holsey, did you have further remarks for your?
No further
All right,
remarks.
Councilmember Garber, to speak to the motion now as amended.
Just move to get it done and get it behind us and get everybody on board.
Any further remarks from council? Comments from the audience? Question for the council is the motion to adopt resolution 2013-083 as amended. Roll call, council, please.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Garberdine?
Aye.
Councilmember Holsey?
Aye.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember McCann?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next up, resolution 2013-084, authorizing the execution of the Department of Ecology fiscal year 2013 through 15 stormwater capacity grant agreement number G14-00291.
This, the council has already approved the agreement between Washington State Department of Ecology and the City of Pacific. This is just a resolution, to complete that.
I move to approve resolution 2013-084.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2013-084. Councilmember Holsey.
$170,000 and I round on it.
Councilmember Jones.
Just going through the paperwork, we've already approved the grant acceptance, it's now just making the paperwork happen.
Further comments from council? Comments from the audience? Question for the council is the motion to approve resolution 2013-084. Roll call, council, please.
Councilmember Garberdine?
Aye.
Councilmember Holsey?
Aye.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember McCann?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
And Councilmember Walker?
What was item H